Inglis Classics Auto Repair and Restoration in Hesperia. And this is our transmission guy, Ricky, here. Say hi, Ricky.
Hello.
He's going to share with you what he did on this transmission. We dropped from this truck here, the Chevy truck, and he's got some parts that were taken out. This has been rebuilt already. Can you tell us a little bit about the trouble you went through and what you found when we dropped the transmission?
Built a 200 R4 for this. It's a good deal. It's an overdrive transmission, takes the place of a 350. But when they did it, they built it for a 2,000-pound race car, not a big, heavy 3/4 ton Chevy truck. They put too small a converter in it. They got rid of the lockup converter, plus some of the other parts they've done. And gentlemen spent a ton of money on it. It never moved from the day one. It still had assembly lubrication in it that had never been pressurized. It had never made pressure and actually even tried to work. I ended up having to replace the front pump, the input shaft, the accumulator housing.
And what is all in here?
That's the front pump, accumulator housing, input shaft that they modified, trying to make it to where the converter would not lock up. The way they built this would have worked great in a little bitty light race car that you drive 10 seconds at a time, but in a big heavy truck like this, if the transmission had worked, it might have lasted a month because it was not built to handle these kind of weights and this kind of sustained use.
So we got that motor running, and when we went to try to shift it, it wasn't moving. What was the problem?
The modifications that they had done to it, it never built any internal pressure. They basically didn't know what they were doing when they built it. You can build them to where they don't use the lockup converter, but for something this big and heavy and run on the street, no.
Wasn't going to work anyway.
Wasn't going to work anyway. If it had have worked, like I said, it might have lasted a month and then would have burned itself up because it was not designed to take daily use and this kind of weight.
Right.
It was meant to be in a 18 to 2,500 pound race car, not a 4,000 pound truck.
So we're changing out the torque converter. We got a new
Changed out
torque
the
converter.
Put the lockup back in it where it will lock up the converter. Did everything that needs done to it to where it will live behind the motor that's in it and the weight.
Okay. Great. And we have you pretty busy, right?
More than I want.
So we've got several other transmissions that we'll share with you, and you'll be seeing more of Ricky. We appreciate it. Thank you.